Hey, this is Hayden Gillum. Thanks for watching MotoAmerica on YouTube. Make sure to like and subscribe.
You're locked into the MotoAmerica AMA FIM North American Road Race Championship and the Geico Motorcycle Superbike Speed Fest at Monterey. Beautiful California coastline here in Monterey, California, as we are setting the stage for the SportbikeTrackGear.com Junior Cup race number 2 from WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the broadcast booth. I'm Greg White, standing alongside two-time AMA champ Jason Pridmore. Now, Jason, there's been a change, top of the leaderboard. There was a crash. It was a big kind of a thing yesterday, but we still had a great race on our hands.
Yeah, we had 5 title contenders coming into yesterday, Greg, and we've also mentioned a lot during the course of the year how tight the racing is and how clean it really is. But yesterday, 3 of our contenders lost touch in this championship. Number 1, right off the bat, the start yesterday, Cody Wyman and Joe Lamandry Jr. get off the line really well, but this was the points leader coming into yesterday, Gus Rodeo. He crashes, and then Max Mann and Kayla Yakov, and what I really feel like was a race incident. It looks like his brake lever guard got hooked into the bar of Kayla. They both go down. It brings out the red flag. Joe Lamandry Jr., who was tied for second in points coming in, he is now the points leader with Cody Wyman right behind him.
Yeah, and it was quite a change from yesterday, and we just don't see those incidents happen up front. But look at these points. So this was the points before we got to racing. Gus Rodeo's up top, Cody Wyman and Joe Lamandry. Now, as we change it, this was how it happened. All of a sudden, Lamandry goes from P3 to P1. Cody stays in his spot. Gus Rodeo slides. As for Kayla and Max, they just lose a heap of points, but they stay in 4th and 5th. So, Jay, the thing is with Kayla Yakov is I think she's pretty upset because, she already has an MCL, ACL that she's got to get repaired after the season. Now it's her shoulder, her right shoulder that's hurting. And she said to me earlier today, I just want to be healthy and race one weekend. But it's not going to happen for her this season, but she keeps soldiering on.
Yeah, she's a tough one. There's no question about it, and I know she'll be lining back up today. Spoke with her a little bit last night through text, and talking with her, we talked about what possibly could have happened. And look, Max Van, he went straight over to her. It's the second time, unfortunately, this year we've seen riders have to get Kayla out of the air fence. And she was frustrated and probably a little bit angry, obviously. But they'll both be back out there today going after each other. And now they're in a position where they've got to get some race wins to get themselves back in that points chase.
All right, we're a few minutes away from the race start for SportbikeTrackGear.com Junior Cup. But right now we'll head into our Live Plus crew and Greg Creamer and Roger Hayden.
No, thanks very much, gentlemen. And there is Kayla. And as Michael alluded to, she's absolutely in the zone right now. And especially if that, obviously, her knee's bothering her. Now she's got that little bit of shoulder issue. She's just got to get focused, get in the zone, and just bury that for this race.
And that's a good thing about adrenaline. I mean, it takes away a lot of pain. And once the light goes out, she's going to forget about it. But I think she just wants a clean race. She's been riding really well. She was quick this morning in the warm-up after having that crash yesterday. So I don't think it held her back too much. But, if she is injured, maybe beginning of the race, she might not be as aggressive, try to save her energy a little bit. But she's going to be there. She's going to be one to beat. And there's going to be about 5 or 6 of them, I bet, in this race today.
Oh, I would think so. I think there's a heck of a group. And, I think Daniel Lanuza, the speed we saw from him in the warm-up and what we've seen over the weekend, he's starting a little bit farther back in that 7th spot in that 3rd row. But he is going to be a potential factor in this one. He's fast.
Yeah, he's been quick all week. And, being his first MotoAmerica race, making that mistake in race 1 yesterday, we see that a lot, when somebody comes and does their first race and just look like he just got a little impatient early, and he's a young guy, and that's just part of learning, and it's a mistake I bet he doesn't make today. And, it's disappointing the crash, but also it's disappointing to crash so early in that race because he missed so many laps and so much learning experience with these other riders. So hopefully today he makes it to clean those first couple laps, and we have maybe a new name on the podium.
Well, I think it's possible, and that's part of the game. That's why it's a junior class. It's great, but it's a training class. It's a place to learn racecraft, and there are going to be mistakes made. But if you make it once and then you get it figured out, that's the progression that you want to have here. And so field making their way up to the Corkscrew for their installation lap, and that means it's time for us to get it back over to Greg White and to Jason Pridmore in just a couple of seconds here as the field works its way up and through the Corkscrew. Have a great race call, guys.
Get on. There we go. I can hear him, G.
Starting grid. Cody Wyman, Max Van, and Joe Lamondre Jr. on your front row, JP.
Then we got Bickney's Rodeo, and it's good to see Kayla back up on her feet. Yakov's going to start from the second row again. Lanuza, Black, Tao, Williams, Medina, and Dreyer. A little bit further back, Enriquez, Rivera, Nichols, Risi, Gower, Allegra, and just by himself back there, Marnian. He's going to be back down the last row.
So Bazooka Joe Lamondre, you can see some stats from him. 7th podium, leads all Junior Cup riders. Made some wholesale changes to the motorcycle, Jason, overnight.
Yeah, big changes actually. They went gearing change. They did some setup changes on the bike. He wasn't satisfied with winning yesterday. He wanted to see if he could make some improvements, and they did.
13 laps scheduled for SportbikeTrackGear.com Junior Cup race number 2. Cody Wyman from pole, getting a good launch on the 34. So there goes the Alpha Omega rider. Will lead us down the hill into turn number 2. Are there going to be any moves up the inside? Max Van well positioned.
Boy, that start looked a lot like yesterday, didn't it? With both those two guys leading the way at the beginning yesterday. You can see Lamondre Jr. Somebody gets shot up out of the seat early. Was it Rodeo? Maybe they got shot up out of the seat. But Kayla jumps herself into 4th, just like she did as well yesterday. So we almost have a carbon copy. Opening 2 or 3 corners, you see Lamondre Jr. goes up underneath his teammate. Cody Wyman trying to make a break right now, but Lamondre Jr. gets himself into 2nd with that new setup. Greggy worked on some ride height things this morning. Found himself touching some things down. He was carrying so much corner speed. And then they
talk about ground clearance, like dragon stuff.
Yes, wow. Ground clearance. So they made some changes, and they went back to a couple little things from yesterday for today's race, and some stuff that they found this morning that worked better for today's race. So it's kind of a combination.
Daniel Lanuza, who crashed yesterday on the 75, up in the mix as well, just on the back of Gus Rodeo. So the T3 Racing Ninja 400 from Mountain View, California, having a better run at it today in the early stages of this race.
That's great to see Daniel do that. I think, you know, when he was top of the heap there after qualifying 1 on Friday, a lot of us were saying, oh, we don't know Daniel. And I saw some of the things that you do in the morning on your Instagram feed, live from the track, talking to Mike Canfield about him a little bit. Boy, what a get-off he had yesterday. Just happy to see him up and walking around, let alone at the front of the pack.
Front of the pack is Cody Wyman coming across the line. Might be a draft and pass. Let's get to the 3rd member of our broadcast team, Hannah Lopa, and check in with Hannah. What's going on, Hannah?
It's a beautiful day for some racing out here. Now, the crash that we saw at the beginning of this race from yesterday with Max Van and Kayla, I checked in with both of them to see how they're doing today. Max is feeling great, ready to get back out there, maximize points today, get as many as he can. Kayla was feeling a little bit more sore, her shoulder, her back a little banged up, still facing that knee injury from earlier in the season. And I asked her, I said, you went for quite the ride. She said, that was not the kind of surfing I was expecting out of California. I think I'll stick to motorcycle racing.
And I can see her saying that to you as well. And for Max, he got off a little bit easy because he was able to detach himself from the bikes as Gus Rodeo has a look up. Is he going to make it? Nope, doesn't quite get down the inside there of Kayla, but he had a look, did Gus Rodeo. But yeah, she just got tangled up with those 2 bikes and then went flipping into the air fence backwards. Cody Wyman right now looks like he had a bit of a plan to try to keep this lead. You can see him being protective going up the hill. Lamondre Jr. is going to be to his left now as they go up into the corkscrew. Let's see if these two kind of sit up there. Yep, Cody Wyman's still going to have the better of him. Max Van in 3rd, Yakov in 4th still. And we're going to be really interested to see what the pace of this race is, Greg, and see if these riders hold each other up or if we see a little bit quicker pace than yesterday. These two right now are 1st and 2nd in the points as they sit, with Lamondre leading that points just barely over Cody Wyman.
And it's Hayden Bickneys who's off in the back on the 69 as well. Podium finisher from yesterday. You can see Bickneys, and it looks like we have a rider down. Yandel Medina is down and out, back in 13th place. So trying to get that motorcycle up and rolling. Hayden Bickneys with the fastest lap of the race at a 1:38.602. Cody Wyman loses the lead. Getting down into turn number 2. It's going to be Bazooka Joe holding on to the spot. Yakov on the 31 trying to go up the inside of Max Van. So Yakov gets that done for the moment. Max Van tries to square the corner up. but without massive acceleration on these small displacement sport bikes, hard to do. You got to keep that corner speed up.
Yeah, you can see Kayla. Yesterday she tapped the back of her bike and she was able to run the leader down, and Cody Wyman was a lot of speed through 4. Him and Lamondre Jr. a lot of speed through those flat corners, pulling ever so slightly away, but Kayla is extremely fast all through this section. We saw her really good into turn 6 yesterday as well. Now, Lamondre Jr. is going to be in the draft as he has a look over his shoulder. You see this Mindell going down in turn 10. Greg probably just loses the front a little bit on tip in. So we'll hopefully see Mindell back. As you can see, it looked like maybe Gus Rodeo and Max Van are just swapping positions a little bit further back there in 4th and 5th. And you're right, Bickness is trying his best to claw his way back into this. Isn't he our podium finisher from yesterday who ended up 3rd? He wants to taste that podium champagne again.
About 10 laps to go in a corner for Cody Wyman. His plan is starting to play out, but he got such a great start that it has to be a little bit deflating when you know the whole pack is able to close back up on you. There's a lot of drafting at this racetrack, just not a lot of drafting and passing like we see at some of the longer tracks. Yakov on the inside, not willing to make a move at the moment. A little wide through the second apex of turn 2 for Wyman. No big dramas.
Squared it up and got on the gas early. But yeah, exactly right, G-Dub. Just a little bit different line, wasn't it?
And it could be a strategy for Cody Wyman, as we do know that these smaller motorcycles are on the edge of the tire around WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca for an awfully long time. So why not try to select different lines to save the edge grip if you need that towards the end of the race, if that's what you're thinking?
Yeah, change some things up if that is the case. And we still have 10 laps to go in this one. And it looks like Lamondre gets a nice drive out of turn 5. And he's going to go up underneath Cody Wyman into turn 6. Yakov's still sitting there. Hannah, what you got?
Talking to Joe this morning, he said he feels like he has a lot of work left to do. He really wasn't happy with lap times yesterday, even though he felt like he was really riding on the limit of this motorcycle. They made some big changes to suspension and gearing that he's never tried before, but he's really looking for an overall more consistent pace, hoping to get his first double victory weekend under his belt.
One of the things that a lot of these kids are looking at, Greg, is the lap times from the years past with the Rocco Landers, Ty Scott, and those kind of champions that we've seen get crowned here at MotoAmerica. And they're basically...
Kayla into second position.
Kayla goes into second, yep. And they're basing their performances off the lap times that they've seen from guys prior to them. So when they're not doing as fast a lap times as the riders were even last year, Joe was happy that he won, and he's happy with the points lead as Kayla looks down the inside, not quite able to make it, but they're really looking at the times that the riders have done in the years past, and they want to be able to match them or do better.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Motorcycles haven't changed. Tires are the same. The only thing that really is different is going to be the weather and, of course, the age of the track that they go to. A couple of extra bumps from last year is what riders have told us here at WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca. Beyond that, surface is holding up very well. Yakov looking to make a move. And Yakov is going to fall victim to Cody Wyman. So Wyman, even though Yakov had an idea, Wyman's going to take advantage of it.
It just hurts her drive so bad there. It looked like Gus Rodeo was going to have a look. Not quite able to do it. Kayla was very savvy there. She saw a rider that was up the inside there, and she backed off a little bit. And now she's on the right side of Cody Wyman as they go up into the corkscrew. And she's going to position herself right there again in third as the 6-rider battle gets down through the corkscrew.
With 8.5 laps to go, this is the time where we start to see lap times get quicker and quicker and quicker. And for the top 6, they've all set the fastest personal splits in sectors 1, a bunch in sector 2 and sector 3, with Cody Wyman the fastest sector 1 split time of the race so far. Onto the front straightaway we go. We'll click off another lap. This will be 8, Jason.
Yeah, I liked how Cody Wyman went through turn 10. He's able to run that bike out a little bit and carry that speed through turn 10 and start to look at possible passing opportunities later in the race. I mean, Greg, when the racing's this close, I just feel like it's a feel-out process for the first however many laps, as we have a 38.141 from Cody Wyman that lap by. Fastest lap of the race. And I know you probably have lap times. Do you have lap times from last year? Do we know what they did? And put Greg to work here. Cody Wyman now leads Lamondre. You can see there's a small break right now from Gus Rodeo back to Max Van, just ever so slightly. So I'm not sure if Max didn't get into turn 2 well or if he made a small mistake. And you see Lamandry Jr. looks down the inside of Cody Wyman again, but falls back into that spot. And the 2 riders in 3rd and 4th slow down a little bit, so Max Van is going to get on the back again of that battle for 3rd. Gus Rodeo yesterday showed a lot of pace. He ran off out of turn 4, and you see Lamandry Jr. again makes that pass up the hill, and he's gonna hold Cody Wyman off through the corkscrew this time. He gets down through there. But Gus Rodeo showed a lot of pace yesterday, G-Dub, before rolling off in turn 4, or rolling off the edge of the track in turn 4 rather, and then he eventually rolled just wide out of turn 6 one lap, and then did it again the next lap, and it cost him. So Gus is only 18 points back in the championship, needs a win.
Laps winding down in SportbikeTrackGear.com Junior Cup race number 2 here at WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca as they come onto the front straightaway, and continuing to lead the way is Joe Lamandry Jr. with Kayla Yakov right in the mix. Down into turn number 2 they go. Wyman around the outside of Lamandry, but Lamandry's got the position. He'll hold on to it. Gus Rodeo in 3rd, Yakov in 4th. Max Van with the fastest lap of the race, a 1:38 flat. Jay, in race 1 last year, they were doing 38s, but it was Ty Scott in race 2 who did a 36.2.
Wow. That's a big time. 36.2 is a lot faster than what we're seeing right now. Max Van, it's funny because he had just lost touch a little bit, and he put the last 2 sectors together so well, was so fast. Wyman back to the front here into turn 5, 7 to go. And I like what I'm seeing even out of Daniel Lanuza back there. He's still got everybody right in his sights. He started to lose a little bit.
Back to the front.
Lamandry back to the front. I feel like we can say so, that every lap these guys are swapping back and forth. But Daniel's still there, isn't he, G-Dub? It looked like for a minute he was losing touch. Everyone starts engaging a little bit up front, and it causes the field to start backing up, and Daniel's back in there again.
Getting deep into the race, continuing the education for Daniel Lanuza from Mountain View, California, just up the road from where we are here in Monterey. I'm talking to Mike Canfield, who works with him. Oh, and it looks like rider down.
Is that Dreyer?
Just at the end of the crash.
Avery,
yeah, it looked like Avery Dreyer possibly out of 11th place.
Out of the corkscrew.
The 99.
So that bike is on the right side of the track down through the corkscrew.
That's a weird position for that thing to be. It's probably some type of a high side. Red flag out.
Here. Yeah, he's at the top of the corkscrew there. A little bit of a wheelie. Gets down, catches that groove, didn't he? He got that he got the front tire almost in just like a little groove there, and that's a vicious little crash there. I'm glad he's up and okay. He got off really easy. The bike not so much.
All right, so we're under red flag conditions, and we'll get this entire thing sorted out from WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca. SportbikeTrackGear.com Junior Cup race number 2.
Well, unfortunate accident while running just outside of the top 10 for Avery Dreyer in the number 99. And that bike went through such a rough ride after it went down. Obviously cut that Dunlop tire and other damage to it as well. He was able to get it upright, Roger, but it doesn't look like it's going anywhere.
Yeah, he's not going to get that back in the race after the way that thing flipped. I appreciate the effort he did to pick it up and try to get back on it. But, with the way it flipped, there's no way he's going to get that back in the race, and, just trying to get it off the track. See, maybe if he can find neutral. I could see the chain was off as well. So, fortunately for him, though, he is up and okay, but just, another crash.
Was a weird-looking incident as well, as the guys pointed out. It was just where he got, when he ran a little wide at the bottom of the corkscrew, just got off of the edge, and it's almost like it hooked the front tire, didn't it?
It started at the top of the corkscrew because he kind of wheelied on the way down. Mm-hmm. And once the front end set back down, it kind of got out of shape, put him off the inside of the track, and it was just a chain reaction from there.
And bringing out the red flag, of course, right before that happened, Max Van set fast lap of the race at this stage, a 1:38.053. but still back in the 5th spot.
See, I think he thinks he doesn't know the chain's off.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
clearly.
it's locked. See the last guy on your screen, he's going to come over here and it's going to wheelie a little bit, and then it just gets him all out of shape. Puts him on the inside of the track.
When it wheelies like that, you know, it looked to me like the problem was when he landed, he had some angle into the wheel, and if it wheelies, you've got to get that straightened out till it lands again, don't you?
Yeah, and just got a little head shake when it landed. You know, that's a tough corner.
So we're hearing, we'll confirm this, that when we go back to green flag, we may have 5 laps. We may have 5 laps of racing here. Still waiting to get that confirmed. They have that bike moved way off to the other side of the track. So probably just leave it to get this race going back again, and then get out during the break between the races. And obviously a big discussion there going with Kayla and family about what the plans are at this stage here. And also, while things are happening down on pit lane under this red flag, let's check in with Michael.
Yeah, thanks, guys. We're just trying to find out what the situation was. It looks as though, although it's not been confirmed, I don't think yet, it looks as though it could be a restart over 5 laps. That is to, of course, make sure that they've run the two-thirds race distance. It's a long old pit lane down here. There is Kayla Yakov just down here. We are being told just a couple of minutes now till the green flag comes out again. So 4 minutes we're being told. So Kayla Yakov is down here. Kayla, if we can get a quick word, it looks as though we are going to get a restart. There is going to be a restart. Kelly just getting off the bike as they refuel. Obviously, you're in a great battle. We're not going to know the resumption of that race. It's going to be a fresh restart, grid positions based on the positions that you were in that first part. Does that change your mentality for this?
Not really. We're just going to go out, do the same thing we've been doing, and yeah, hopefully it works out. We'll see.
And obviously, how are the injuries? I know nothing was broken, but a little bit sore. Everything okay when you're out there?
Yeah, the knee's not too bad. That's always when I get off the bike, but am a bit sore in some of the more physically demanding sections like the corkscrew, so just going to work around it, hopefully have a good race, and yeah, we'll see.
Okay, thanks, Kelly. We're going to let Kelly crack on. Let's have a little walk further down. And, of course, while all this is going on, the Supersport boys and girls are also getting ready. Luke Power down here, getting in the zone, getting ready to go racing. Rocco Lander's team down here as well. Let's just move through if we can. I want to try and see if we can get a word with Gus Rodeo, because he was another rider yesterday that went down in that race, and he put himself in a really, really good position to fight for the podium. And let's come in and see if we can get a quick word with Gus. He's just talking to one of the team members. Just give him a second, because riders have got the adrenaline's flowing. We don't want to stress them too much. Are we good to interrupt, or are we not good to interrupt? I'm just trying to work out. Yeah, we're good. All right, let's go and grab a quick word with Gus. I'm not going to talk to you too long. I know you've got the focus. It's going to be a 5-lap restart. How are things feeling out there?
Yeah, it felt good. I lost a couple positions off the start. Tried to get them back, and I was sitting in third for a while, just waiting to pass these guys at the front. So 5-lap race, going to be aggressive, it's going to be a barn burner, and we want this win bad.
Okay, thanks, Gus. Like I said, I'm not going to talk to the riders too much. Let's come in and see if we can get a word with Chase Black. I'm going to ask Papa Black just to move out of the way. I mean, I could talk to you as well. Actually, let's talk to Chase's dad. We haven't spoke to many fathers this year. What's going through your mind right now? The boy obviously out there, he tipped off yesterday after showing podium pace. I mean, if his nerves are going through the roof, what's it like for you and Leslie?
No, I'm excited. We're just having a blast. We told him just push. Don't worry about crashing. That's not. We're here to race. We're here to have fun and have a blast. And he's doing exactly what we told him to do. So he just needs to keep doing what he's doing. We're having a blast.
Absolutely. I'm just getting told here, mate. It's going to be a 5-lap restart, and obviously for you now, there's another chance for you to get that wrist twisted and get after this podium.
Yeah, we just had a rough start. That first start, I got a good jump, but then I wasn't aggressive enough off the start, just kept getting past, then messing around with people behind. But I just need to get in front of them, pass a couple fast guys, like right in front of me, the row in front of me, and then we'll be right up there with everybody. I know I can run the pace.
Good job. Right, let's move back. We've got about 90 seconds left. Of course, the Pure Attitude boys, they were out yesterday in Twins Cup. There's no Twins Cup here. There's Aidan Tao. Not spoke to him. I haven't been avoiding you all weekend. There's just been so much going on. We're being told 5-lap restart. Of course, you were in that second group. Now you get another opportunity, a good start, and try and latch on to those front 5.
Yeah, I didn't get the start that I wanted the first race. So, this race, since we're up a little higher, we're going to try to you know, try to hang on to the top guys and, you know, see what we can do. It's a quick race, so we're going to have to put a lot of energy into these 5 laps.
Okay, thanks, Aiden. I think we've got time probably, if my microphone doesn't run out, just down here, there is the number 74. I want to grab a word with the 75 of Daniel Lanuza. And, of course, a face that you might be familiar with. We talk about Chuck Axel. Hey, I'm good to see you, but Max Toth, who was a regular in this championship. Max Dad's Bert has been drafted in as the umbrella boy. So, Daniel, obviously not the way you wanted to end race 1 yesterday. You were right in the mix there. Only 5 laps ahead of you. What's going through your mind right now?
Well, I'm just going to try and latch onto the back of those guys and see what I can do. I mean, the pace is very quick, so I'm just going to push and see what I can do.
Okay, well, good luck. We've just been told there is a little bit more of a delay, so I don't know whether the microphone's going to reach. Sorry, Steve. I tell you what, this guy, he's earning his money this weekend. I'm making you run around the paddock. You must have walked about 25 miles, mate. Right, come on, let's have a word with the STG guys. In fact, Cody Wyman is pitched up right down here as well. There we see the 48 of Max Van, the 62 with Joe Lemandry Jr. Look at the focus and the determination in the eyes of Joe Lemandry Jr. We are not, and I repeat not, and I'm pretty brave, going to go and stick a microphone in front of him right now. He is absolutely in the zone. Also the helmet down here for Max Van. He clearly doesn't want to talk as well, and you can see how different riders deal with this red flag situation. Some of them are quite happy to talk, quite relaxed, quite jovial. Some of them do not want to talk at all. There is Cody's dad. He gives us a thumbs up, and again, just look down here as well. This is the guy that started from pole position in that first part of the race. He too, like Max Van, has got the helmet down, full focus, full concentration on the task ahead. It is a 5-lap sprint race. He just adjusts himself there, and again, like I said, we're not going to go and speak to these guys. These 3 at this end are very much in the zone. Let's have a little look at what else is going on. No real changes. I'm looking at the bikes here of Max Van, just behind where the camera is showing. There's no real changes down here. Everything is pretty much set. The generator is just running. Let's walk back down the pit lane as well. And again, you can see that run up in towards turn 1 from where I am right now. Is that the grid sheet? Let me grab a quick grid sheet. Thank you so much. The beauty of live TV. I like this. So the grid will line up with Joe Lemandry Jr. on pole position. Cody Wyman will line up alongside him. Completing the front row of the grid will be Gus Rodeo. Row 2 will be headed by Kayla Yakov. Then it's Max Van and Daniel Lanuza. Row number 3 headed by Hayden Bickneys. He was on the podium yesterday. He was running 7th. Wasn't too far away in that first part of the race. He has a good chance to make amends in this one. Aidan Tao, who we just spoke to, will start from 8th, and then it's Chase Black will complete row number 3. Sorry, the wind is just blowing this out. Owen Williams, Alexander Enriquez, and Ivan Rivera will be on row number 4. Row number 5 will be headed by Jasmine Nichols. She scored her first points of the season yesterday. Alongside her will be Andrew Gower and Alex Ritchie, who was also in the points as well. Christian Maronian will be 16th, and Avery Dreyer is classified on the grid sheet here as in 17th position, but we're not sure whether he will make the start. Gus Rodeo now has the visor down. Helmets are going on. There is obviously one Yamaha in this race, and that is the number 10. So typically we see a full grid of Kawasaki's. We do have one Yamaha, so we'll keep an eye on him. We have about 60 seconds to go then. The grid is about to form up. Kelly Yakov looking very, very relaxed, and I always find it quite interesting. I do find it quite interesting how these guys do actually prepare. See the bikes now starting to go past me now. Chase Black, one of the first riders to go past me. Most of the riders now sitting on the bike. Here comes Cody Wyman. Here comes Kayla Yakov. And the airbag system just being plugged in as well. Tyre warmers coming off. And we wait then just to see that front tyre warmer comes off. Of course, no change to the tyres. You're not allowed to change tyres under the MotoAmerica regulations. A pat on the head for Kayla on the Altus Motorsports Kawasaki. And now she heads out up towards the first corner and the green flag. And one of the riders at the end of the pit lane has pulled off to the left-hand side. I can't see who that is, but there seems to be some issue at the end of the pit lane for one of the riders. Yandel Medina will not make the restart. He is down here with some issue with the bike, but there is an issue, and it's Chase Black. Chase Black has some kind of issue at the end of the pit lane. I don't know if the team can hear me, and the team are sprinting down here. Liam McDonald and Trevor Standish, Todd Scott, Chase Black's father, and he's got the bike going. He's got the bike going, and Well, that's a nice little workout for the boys. Dear me, I've never seen anybody run so fast. Now they are running back the opposite way because if Chase Black has a problem, and you've got the 2 riders and the mechanic there as well, and there they go, back in the opposite direction. Yeah, a huge round of applause from the crowd down here in the grandstands as well, we know how long this pit lane is. It's about a kilometre long, this straight. So they hoofed it from one end to the other, and luckily Chase Black was able to get that bike fired up. But they have now had to run all the way back down to the other end, just in case Chase does have a problem on this warm-up lap. They'll be able to spring into action. So not exactly what you need just before you go racing. So. Yeah, I'm not sure what else we can report on from down here. As I said, the only rider that seems to be in the only rider that's still in pit lane is Yandel Medina. And obviously Roger and Greg up there in the box. That was a bit fast and furious, a bit frantic, some heart-stopping moments for Chase Black. 5-lap sprint. This is going to be epic.
I think it's going to be massive, and boy, I'll tell you what, that crew for Chase Black, that's like running crushers. As you said, the adrenaline pumping for them. They've got to be jazzed here for the start, and it is getting ready here. Good look there at the 96 of Gus Rodeo, and here he comes, the number 62 winner yesterday and new points leader, coming up to take up his grid position. And with that, and obviously we're looking at getting this one underway. 5-lap shootout. Well, the field in their allotted starting spots as we get ready to resume this Junior Cup race, the SportGear.com Junior Cup race. What are you looking for on this one, obviously, with things changed in the starting lineup? Well,
I just think, we've seen some riders talk about, working their way into it, hanging back early. Only 5 laps. It's going to go by really quick, and especially sometimes as the race goes on, you can kind of thin the pack out, but 5 laps, I think you're going to see at least the top 7 together. If Hayden Bickneys can get a good start, he has the pace, but his first 2 or 3 laps, he lets them get away, so he needs to figure out what he can do those first couple laps. And, it takes some work for a young kid, and if he works at it and, somebody gives him some guidance, he figures out those first 2 or 3 laps, but he falls back 2 or 3 seconds, and then he runs their pace by himself. So obviously he just needs to get a good start, get going, and we can see 8 guys in the race.
When Michael was doing all those interviews, one of the things that really caught me was the riders going, I know I can run the pace, but I got caught by a couple of guys and then struggled to get by them. You can see the gears turning there, can't you, mentally? They're learning the lessons they need to learn.
Yeah, and then they just got to put it into play when they go back out. You know what you need to work on, and it's not going to happen overnight for these kids. They're going to have stuff they're going to work on forever, and some of it's going to be harder to learn than others. But you just got to keep plugging away at it as the races go on.
Well, they are hardcore competitors for sure, but yes, they are still kids. And obviously, that's a big part of youth, is learning the messages, obviously. So as we watch them setting up, working through turn number 6 here, and really important here on this lap, get a feel for what's going on here right now. And apparently the problem for Chase Black was a steering damper, and that's got to affect how the bike's going to work for you.
Yeah, especially on the straightaways. So hopefully, with it being a smaller bike, less speed, hopefully it doesn't play as big a part, but also, if it does, it could be a huge issue for him.
All right, and the field working their way around and getting ready to set up here for this restart. Once again, a 5-lap flyer, and I think, as Roger alluded to here, that doesn't give you a lot of time to thin the group out a little bit. We've got 6-7 guys, 8 easy, who can make this one work. Time to go to Greg and Jason.
WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca restart for SportbikeTrackGear.com Junior Cup after the incident was moved off the racetrack. And we're away, and we're 5 laps now to the checkered flag. And Lamondre Jr. on the outside looks like he got a good launch. They regridded him by how they finished after the last completed lap before the red flag. Going down into turn number 2, it's going to be Cody Wyman again, who is the class of the field at the beginning of these races. A little bit wide, though, in the middle of the apex. And now Kayla Yakov ends up behind Gus Rodeo. So Rodeo in second spot with Yakov in third. So not quite the carbon copy of race 1 start or even the start to race 2.
Yeah, Lamondre Jr. got shuffled back, Greg, from that first place from pole position here. He's all the way back in 5th. He'll try to make quick work of his teammate as they go down into turn 5. He tries to go up the inside of Max Van. He's going to make that work. Cody Wyman, Gus Rodeo, Kayla Yakov up in the front right now, doing a really good job.
The mad dash to the checkered flag. Of course, with these 1:38 lap times is what we saw the first part of this race. Cody Wyman looks like he's going to fall victim to Gus Rodeo. Rodeo easily around him. Is Yakov going to try to get him? No, and Wyman's going to go right back up the inside and say, no, I want to lead this thing.
Good move from Cody Wyman, because this is where I think Gus Rodeo's got a lot of paces. Lamondre goes down the inside of Kayla Yakov now, but he's not going to be there to quite make that pass. She slams the door shut. That's going to make him susceptible to getting passed back by his teammate Max Van, who does make that pass on Lamondre Jr. So Lamondre Jr. went down the inside in the rain, and now he goes back down the inside of his teammate Max Van in the last corner. And there's a few more people now. Bickness is going to be closer. Aiden Thowell's closer. So we've got a few other people that with this restart are trying to take advantage of feeling what this lead pace is all about.
So Alpha Omegas, Cody Wyman leads the way, and then you have Gus Rodeo, Rodeo Racing, Warhorse HSBK Racing Machine, Altus Motorsports, the supporter for Kayla Yakov in third, and then you have a pair of SportbikeTrackGear.com Kawasaki Ninja 400s right behind in Lamondre Jr. and Max Van.
Yeah, we'll see if those guys in 4th and 5th can draft up. As you can see, Cody Wyman trying to stretch this out a little bit right now. Gus Rodeo not quite being able to draft. Let's get down to Hannah with some words.
As Cody Wyman leads this race from the front, I spoke to him and he said right now he's just in point management mode. He knows there's plenty of racing left to do, but if the win is there, he'll take it. Bike setup wise, he makes a small front end change for more compliance, especially where it's bumpy, but you know, right now it looks like he's got a pretty good handle on things.
He has seemed pretty defiant, Hannah, as far as he wants to be up in this up front all the time. And now we're going to see as Lamondre Jr. He gets himself up into third, Greg. But this is where Gus Rodeo was so fast when I was watching the other day. I went down and sat in turn 10. But right now, Wyman's still sizing him up. Now they're going down. This guy led the points coming in here and had an incident yesterday. Gus Rodeo did, but you can see now Wyman, and we got the 74. It's Alexander Enriquez is down. It looks like turn 6 almost. Exit of 6 maybe, G-Dub?
Yeah, could possibly be. But is this going to be Gus Rodeo leading the way for the first time in this race? And he does. Comes across the stripe as the leader. Just rehearsal. So it looks like in these bikes, you want to be the first one leading coming onto the front straightaway. Unlike some of the tracks we go to, Yakov in third, SportbikeTrackGear.com teammates in 4th and 5th. Wyman back to the lead. Hayden Bickney's fastest lap of this part of the race at a 1:38.5. So Bickney's got a better start. The 69 did. But also still in the mix is the 75 on the red bike of Daniel Lanuza.
Yeah, he's still there. And Kayla actually had gotten back past Lamondre on the run down to turn 11. And now you can see a pass at the front for the lead. Lamondre Jr. is also, he's going to go from 4th to 2nd possibly. Nope, Cody Wyman comes across the front of him. And this is where gearing is important. You don't get that drive out of turn 6, and it's going to make it hard work. Let's see where Lamondre shakes. He's going to shake himself back to 4th. Yeah,
Yakov was able to drive. The Gus Rodeo continues to lead the way. Into the corkscrew they go. Wyman's had a notion to pass him there after he got passed by Rodeo. Rodeo proving strong on the brakes at the top of the hill in the blind corkscrew. Yakov coming under fire from Lamondre.
She protected that line into the corkscrew, didn't she, Greg? And she protected that line going down into Rainey as well, knowing that's racecraft. That's seeing what your competitors have done to you a lap or so prior, and she wasn't going to let it happen again. and now she's going to dive up the inside of Cody Wyman. She's going to make that pass. So the 31 of Kayla Yakov going forward right now as she gets down the inside of Cody Wyman. And we are going to have 2 to go when they go by now. She's in the draft to Gus Rodeo. Cody Wyman now is trying to go around the outside of Kayla as they head down. And Lamondre Jr. is down the inside of both Cody Wyman and Kayla Yakov.
He pushes Yakov a little wide. And Lamondre Jr. gets that second spot. So going from 4th to 2nd in one corner, a good move by the 62 Bazooka Joe. A little wide on the exit. Gets the rear end of that motorcycle to turn quickly so he can hold on to his momentum. Talking about the second place rider, Lamondre. Now coming under fire is the 96. Trying to use some of that draft. Cody Wyman looking for some room. Not going to do it as they head up the steep climb towards turn number 6, and then more climbing heading towards the Corkscrew with about a lap and a half to go. It's anyone's game. These top 4 started to make a breakaway from the rest of the field.
Cannot tell you how hard it is to make a pass going into turn 6 like that and how narrow it gets. And everybody wants to be in the exact same spot at the apex of that corner to make sure that they can run through the dip there the way they need to. But Lamondre Jr. has gone to the front as he comes down through the Corkscrew with Gus Rodeo. Cody Wyman, Yakov there in 4th. Max Van in 5th just behind her. So he has moved up this lap from 7th. Max Van has come up to 5th on this lap. Then you have Lanuza just behind him.
Yeah, just like that, it's all closed up.
And now they're going to see the white flag when they come out of this last corner on this lap, G-Dub. They're going to see the white flag. There you see it. And who is going to lead as they go down to turn 2 as Lamondre moves all the way over to the left to make anybody want to go past, go down the outside.
Oh, 3 wide, it's so close. Heading down to turn number 2, it's going to be Wyman on the 34 who takes the spot. Lamondre's going to fight back ahead of Gus Rodeo. All the while, no room up the inside for Yakov to go. So this is Cody Wyman's plan. Does he want to lead the entire last lap? He's going to fall victim or under fire in a couple corners.
Lamondre Jr. gets extremely sideways, and Kayla's caught up again, but she's still on the track, Greg. As you can see, even Max Van got shoved off the track as well. Look what this has done. It has made Cody Wyman, he has got a huge gap now. A big lead for Cody, and he's not going to know that. But now this battle is going to rage on. Gus Rodeo, Lanuza, Bickness, Aiden Thals in this group.
Wow, what a turn of events. Cody Wyman has no idea what's going on behind him. He's riding as hard as he can. But is Lanuza, the NorCal rider, going to be able to hold on to this and put it on the podium in this MotoAmerica weekend?
His debut weekend. That's what makes it even more impressive. And he is following Gus Rodeo, and they have created a space now between themselves and Bickness. So Lanuza in his first weekend in MotoAmerica, will he try to put a pass on Gus Rodeo as they come down through turn 10 and head towards turn 11? Let's see what the 75 does. But huge weekend for this guy, 34, Cody Wyman.
Cody Wyman, who sits only 5 points behind Lamondre Jr., who finds himself in the gravel trap. He's going to run to the checkered flag. Getting close to the wall, he takes it, takes the win. Coming across in 2nd place is Rodeo, Lanuza in 3rd, Bickness in 4th, Aiden Thau in 5th, Max Van in 6th after running off. Chase Black, Owen Williams, and Yakov able to hold it to 9th.
All 4 of this guy's competitors this weekend have had heartache. Cody Wyman did a great job yesterday finishing 2nd. Even better job today finishing 1st.
When we come back, we're going to talk to Cody Wyman and find out if he knew what goes on behind him. I think he's going, what just happened there?
Once again, big dramas last lap here in SportGear.com Junior Cup, and I'll tell you what, just an amazing scenario here for Cody Wyman. I mean, getting the win again today, and again, as they just talked about, his competitors having issues. And for Kayla, I mean, she didn't go down this time, but she got absolutely caught up in another incident. She's going to be just boiling over with frustration, I think.
Yeah, she's going to be disappointed, but also she's still going to make up some points on Lamondre having that crash. It just seems like nobody.